All right, welcome everybody. I am Pato. We're gonna be casting first round. It looks like it's Voxel versus a mystery person because I can't actually see past the screen here. So let me actually go on to Battlefy and look at the bracket of who he's playing against. So it's Voxel versus Krikket. Oh, there we go. All right, so Voxel versus Krikket. It's gonna be going down right now. We have a Songhai versus Vitruvian. Nice looking slick map. Love the new animations you also have on Tiger. So this is interesting too because like this is kind of how looks like he had a dead turn one. We see Piercing Mantis. You're gonna pretty much see this in pretty much everybody's decks now after the recent patch. You got buffed to a 2/3 Frenzy, so has a lot of power, especially with any kind of buffs. Vitruvian actually has some really good one they got recently with their skin and their they actually have one of their cards that's blanking on top of my head right now. Don't see it as much, but you can get +5 health and flying, which is actually really good for positioning frenzy units to get really good attacks off. So Repulsor beats into the corner style with lots of crystal wisps, so lots of mana on Krikket's side. You can already see he's at 7 cores on one of the early turns. Now the key thing to look out for when you actually have really heavy starts like this is he has 3 cards in hand currently. The question is like, does he gas his hand, right? You can go super aggro with decks like this, but the problem you end up facing if you do this, especially happens with like Songhai players. Whenever I see them start like double Crystal Wisp, like I'm like, you've already lost the game because you're gonna gas your hand and you're gonna pretty much be done. Very, very early. It's hard to find the value and fill those cores depending on the faction. Now, Vitruvian, depending on how his deck's build, is going to be a nightmare here because he's going to start 7 core next turn. Probably going to drop 2/3 drops at the very least, but he also has the power to add in a lot of spell power now. And so we can see here the new Songhai kind of being played by Voxel. Voxel playing lots of spells here. He gets out the 4 Winds Magi. He has a lot of potential next turn, but he can't lose this 4 Winds Magi. I think that's going to be actually hard to pull off. Portal Guardian going to fly in here. Actually going to jump in ahead. Do they have any other buffs here? Yeah, Dunecaster going to come in. I wonder if he's going to kill this 4 Winds Magi. That's actually going to be an interesting choice. And looks like no, he's going to come down. He's just going to put damage to the general. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. this is so he dumped his hand, but this is a pretty hard situation to win. Okay, so yeah, he originally was going down. Now he actually goes up, clears the 4 winds, does the full surround. This is pretty disgusting, actually. Get traded the Crystal Wisps, doesn't care about those guys. He does have a lightning, but he's kind of at the whim of like throwing out Twin Strike and hoping it hits that 7/2 in the back line if he really wants to. He has other options here, so he's going to go for gain health. He's probably definitely going to lose these as soon as he's done, but he's going to get as much power as he can. Going to get some draw out of this as well. So 2 damage comes. Oh, those are great targets. He gets one of the ones he desperately needed. The Portal Guardian's still gonna be a hassle. He can actually clear out that Portal Guardian the sad part is he would have to burn his hand, but he could clear out the Portal Guardian if he really wanted to. Again, oh no, he can't actually. He's gonna be out of mana here. So yeah, I mean, I think he might just give up charges here to clear the board. I mean, that's actually that's almost the best scenario he could have hoped for there. With his Twin Strike. Twin Strike again buffed. You didn't really see that card before. Now it costs only 3. It draws you a card as well. His hand is back to pretty much full here. Oh my god, 3 seals. That's actually pretty insane. Another Mara Healer. Ugh. This is brutal. I mean, he gained a lot of health back there. He was able to clear and control the board. You can see Krikket's going to basically be gassing his hand every turn now. So, this is one of the scenarios where it becomes kind of difficult because Amira, like, he doesn't have a good way. Oh, now he does. Okay, Repulsor. He has Repulsor in his hand. So the thing is that if Krikket ever draws like a kind of duddish hand, like Crystal Wisp with the play last turn, if he draws like anything more that's like really low cost, like not really good dudes, then he's actually going to be in a pretty good way. Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm probably. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. I think he's just gonna go for the throat. If he's him, looks like maybe. I don't know if he is. See, the problem is he could deal 10. So he could deal 10 right now, put him to 7. I don't think that's enough. So he's gonna buff here. Okay, I like that play actually. I like this play because Portal Guardian's probably his biggest concern currently. So he's gonna be able to get rid of that. He still gets to hold on to some damage. I mean, it's still not it's not like what you would want for the Songhai player, but this pressure is like pretty insane from Vitruvian right now. He's gonna put some extra damage on the Fire Obelisk. Fire Obelisk not taken out yet. Amara still across the board. Now he's getting into a good looking range here of damage, but there's still a lot of damage potential on the board as well. There's Star's Fury, and if he follows it up with Sion's Third Wish, we're looking at lethal here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, lethal. No, it looks like no. He's gonna actually swing into Mana Forger, so he doesn't have. He has a good chunk, but he doesn't have necessarily lethal here. Okay, so yeah, he's just going for this round. He's backing off as much as he can. He's still out of melee range of the general, so that's not actually going to be a big factor here. And it's really key. I mean, even though they're ephemeral, like, it felt like way better there. But if he was able to keep him around, like having these big obelisks in the way is really, really good. He does have Spiral Technique. Spiral Technique is going to cost him 5. He'd only have 2 left, so he wouldn't be able to, for example, Repulsor. So he's going to be short on being able to Spiral. Spiral's not going to really create him any lethal. He's at 7. He needs to clear out this Fire Obelisk. Pretty much no matter what he does. Doesn't really have any target for the Saber Spine. Now the problem is that Krikket's going to be able to get his back against the wall, and so Voxel's going to have a hard time running him down, especially with the Amara already on the board. He can kind of use that to shield a lot of potential hate that is going to come his way. He has double Spiral in hand. Unfortunately, you can't cast 2 of those per turn unless you're magical. Actually, you have to have a Mana Forger or something out in most cases. Sion's First Wish going to come out. So gets himself buffed up. Gets himself a Rasha's Curse. That's also going to be buffed up as well because of the Fire Obelisk that was thrown down. Yeah, this is becoming very, very quickly an unobtainable win right here. He's basically he's gonna burn this out, and then he's gonna hope that Fox is gonna have to hope that that nothing can reach him. And at 2 health, a lot can reach you. Amara can actually start to go in and start to trade off with herself and try to get rid of herself. No instant lethal currently in hand for Songhai, so he's going to have 5 damage next turn. Krikket has to not have something with Rush or the ability to go in any further. That's a good silence right there. I mean, the fear is always right that he has some displacement. Good news is also that he does have Lightbender, so Lightbender actually can clear Amara as far as like her deadly effects, and also remove some of the buffs. Not all the buffs because they're coming from the obelisk, but it will help a little bit with this, with the current pressure that he's under. The key here is though he also has to pretty much, so he gets rid of this. This is good. He's gonna have to back off pretty much both of his. Yeah, he has to back off. He has to. I think he has to kill that one. He has to kill that one. Otherwise, like even if he backed off, the other one would be able to clear for him potentially. So at this point, he can't actually get to him without something like Star's Fury, something can get further. There's a Mist Dragon Seal, and he has a Juxt, so that can potentially do it if something up. And there's Rasha's Curse, and boom, really, really, really hard fought first game coming out there. And Songhai, trying to pull the retreat, trying to get the burnout, still a pretty healthy 7 health left over for the enemy general. So yeah, there you go. Basically just mobbed him so hard that he actually didn't have an option really to try to focus somewhere else with his damage, right? And that's kind of the key for. It's kind of the key for Vitruvian in this matchup, or at least in this game. And this game is very much Vitruvian being like, "Look at this start! I dropped everything in your face," and it's just like dropping everything they possibly can. Yes. Best of 3. Vitruvian versus Songhai. All right, so we're gonna see how the start happens this time. Crystal Wisp was a big factor last time. It's gonna be Piercing Mantis. Piercing Mantis is gonna be dropping first. Not a great kind of opening hand here for our Songhai player. He's basically kind of on like this weird position where he actually doesn't have a minion to place onto a waypoint. He has a lot of awesome buffs for a minion, like this owl that we see here. They could possibly play next turn and hide in a corner. But otherwise, like, I mean, that's not really a good bet with free silences roaming the board. This is going to be another high mana kind of curve turn, only because he wasn't actually able to claim any of the or the mana cores. Kind of interesting, like how the Jade Monk changes. Kind of, I don't know if he's running Jade Monk, but Jade Monk used to be kind of like the stalwart. That and Gortusk used to be like the ones where it's like, okay, it's like. Our Gorehorn used to be the ones where he's like, okay, those are my 3 drops I can open with if I'm player 2. Now he's very much faced with like, oh look, like a very similar start to last time. He's in my face. Owl Beast is an interesting play there. Depends on how much I actually really like hiding him versus keeping him. I think he's susceptible to a lot of damage there. He can actually be killed if you really want to remove him off the board, and that's what I'm probably avoiding. Usually you want to hold on to. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to save him anyway in this point. So this way, actually, he does the correct thing, and he actually just gets the damage on him and away from his general. But he's not going to have a board, which is going to be the rough part. Going to be temporarily held in the corner here by these guys. And this Vitruvian aggro, man. This Vitruvian aggro is real, and it's been really hard for Songhai, especially with no starting board character to really triumph in battle with here. So 2 damage goes out that actually again hits a good target, but overall still lack. I mean, the main problem here is you have a ton of spells in hand that yes can deal damage, and he's gonna use it here to clear this obelisk, which is the correct choice. But you like there's burst damage here, but like there's nothing good and solid on this Songhai player. Like it looks like this is it looks like very spell heavy from the last few games. There's not a lot of substantial creatures here to buff and throw out. Clearly an Arcanist kind of build, but again, like if you like Owl Beast tanks some damage, but Owl Beast needs to be alive as you get into those later ranks so that you can actually use him as an effective threat. Not a very good matchup against Vitruvian, though, just because, again, free silence is so good. Full surrounds coming in here. Also going to have a Blast Donk. This is actually pretty disgusting. Songhai luckily has a lot of spells, so going to be able to get him out of some of this trouble, but there's going to be a lot of mob damage going down here. Going to be able to not place creatures, so he has to basically... This restricts movement. The good part about it is that he's not going to have a direct out pending how his spells go. So he's going to Twin Strike again probably here. Still has the 3 mana, so hit some good targets. So now he can move, but he's still going to be within a lot of damage ranges. Going to Repulsor away the big dude that he can't really quite deal with right now. Unfortunately, loses that Blood Leech Mass, so he's not going to have a lot of healing. Already at 15. Yeah, I mean, like, he still has a decent amount. I probably clear Orb Weaver there, only because he actually gets buffs from the Obelisk and stuff, so... If you're actually able to clear him out, then you'd be in a good situation. Ooh, the stack there, not going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Yeah, it's a cool animation now for Blast, at least. And there's Amara. Ooh. Yeah, this is... Krikket. Krikket's laying it down, man. He's laying down the wood right now. That's pretty rough. So what does he have here? He has 7 mana. So he has potential to go big here. But it's kind of like one of those potentials where it's like it's a little too late. I love this play. I absolutely love this play, mainly because yeah, it's gonna put away the Amara, so deals with that. Now he has a big dude. He has 3 mana left, so he can actually make a pretty big damage sizable play here. The silence I feel coming next turn is gonna womp this comeback feeling, but otherwise, like, this is pretty good. It's 9 damage. It's 9 damage that's going to come out here. So he has a 9/7. The health is going to stay at a 5 here. Goes, clears a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, so this looks good. He had to spend most of his hand to do it. Pending other things that can be dropped. He has a full hand of stuff. I imagine he does have a Dispel in his hand, or Silence, basically. Oh no, he doesn't. If he, oh yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, I was like, I'm pretty sure you're just gonna silence this thing and kill it. I'm pretty, like, 100% sure that that's what's going down here. And so there's the blast, puts in the extra damage. Also gonna Rashes on top of it. Why not? Make that Portal Guardian bigger, and just take him down to 5. All right, here we go. Silence to everything. The problem is, though, it's not going to get him out of that death choke that he's in right now, and he doesn't have a way to deal with Portal Guardian, which is just going to kill him. Yep, man, this is a good deck from Krikket. I mean, it's been pretty solid aggro that I don't think that. I think it's another thing too, where I kind of believe that a lot of it is just. I really don't know if the Voxel's deck is actually built to deal with this, because there's too much pressure that comes out early, and it just doesn't have enough, to really like deal with it. So there you go. Round 1 is officially done. I'm gonna hop around to some other games, see if anything's open. Good game to Krikket and Voxel. Close match, and we'll see you guys.